Padma ma'am? Padma ma'am? Ma'am, shall we start?
Oh, yes. Hey everyone. Welcome to our knowledge series Jnana Manthana. I am Padmavati MT, your presenter for today. In this session, we will be learning some easy ways to build attention and concentration that will help your child to develop the power of concentration to achieve success. You must be wondering what I was busy focusing on. This is what I was trying to do by connecting the dots. A nice activity, isn't it beautiful? I enjoy doing this activity. Your children will enjoy doing my activities too.
To begin with, attention difficulties are very common in children because children are super energetic and curious about their surroundings. Getting the task completed by children without any distraction is a big battle for all parents. Their attention may be very good while watching something on TV or on a mobile phone, but engaging them in activities such as doing homework is next to impossible. Attention and concentration become very essential, without which they may find it difficult at school and in life later on. Let us understand what attention and concentration is. Attention is an on and off activity, and we can choose to pay attention to something or not. It is my choice to pay attention on an object or no. And when I continuously look or observe at that object for a long period of time, this is referred to as concentration. Concentration is an ability that can be built up and improved with practice using simple activities. The trick is to be consistent. Firstly, check if your child or student lacks attention. If 8 or more answers from the checklist given below are often or always, then your child or student may have issues with his or her attention span. Difficulty sustaining attention on his or her activities. He or she loses interest easily in an activity or game, has difficulty listening to instructions when spoken to directly, finds it difficult to learn and remember information or tasks, displays difficulty in following instructions and completing schoolwork, is lost in daydreaming, often makes careless mistakes or overlooks details while writing, has difficulty repeating what is being said, shows interest in any information for short period only, poor handwriting or not conforming to lines while writing, shows fluctuations in behavior either isolated or overactive, is easily distracted by extraneous stimuli. Now, children need a break during the study schedule, and these activities may be used during the first hour of the study schedule so that they do not move out of the place and get distracted. This also develops their sitting tolerance. Let's look at the activities one by one. In my first activity, parents and educators will learn about mazes. A maze is a path or a collection of paths, typically from an entrance to a goal. Simple ones like this and very cute ones may be used for children in lower grades, and the challenging ones like this can be used at higher levels. Start with simple worksheets. Once the child shows progress, you may increase the level of difficulty. Let's look at the next activity, which is a crossword or a word search puzzle or a concentration grid. A crossword or a word search is a word game that consists of letters of words placed in a grid like this, which usually has a rectangular or a square shape. The objective of this puzzle is to find and mark all the words hidden inside the box. Different types of word puzzles may be chosen. Even numbers can be used to form the grid. Now, what is a concentration grid? In a concentration grid, each number in the number grid is randomly assigned and the child strikes the numbers in sequence, starting from the lowest number in the grid to the highest. You may increase or decrease the range of numbers depending on task completion. Please make sure to use a different grid every time. My next activity to improve attention and concentration is finding hidden objects. It's a puzzle again in which the child must find items from a list that are hidden within a scene or a picture. For example, you may see 5 circles listed at the bottom of this worksheet, and the child is expected to find all these 5 circles in this picture. The child may use different color pencils or sketch pens to shade each of these objects. For children at higher grades, the parents or educators may use a tricky one like this. Here, the child looks for all the objects that are listed at the bottom of the page. For example, a lipstick is hidden in this part of the picture. The child has to focus really hard to identify the same. My next activity is spot the difference. Here, children must find differences in two pictures. For children at lower grades, you may ask them for only 5 differences, whereas for higher levels, increase the number of differences in the picture. My next activity is a memory game. Most of my students find this very interesting. Here, you expose certain number of objects to the child for a minimum of 30 seconds or 1 minute, depending on the number of objects you are exposing to the child. At the end of the stipulated time, cover the objects and ask the child to recall or remember as many objects as possible from the ones exposed to him or her. You may also play the memory game using patterns like this. The parents and educators need to have a 4x4 empty grid and some paper strips as shown here at the bottom of the empty grid. The child is asked to look at the color and positioning of each shape on the grid for 1 minute. At the end of 1 minute, cover the pattern and ask the child to recreate the pattern exposed to him or her. You may also use small pictures for this activity instead of shapes. My next activity is connecting the dots. It is used to illustrate an ability to associate one idea with another to find the big picture. In a worksheet like this, a child at lower grade is asked to connect the numbers to form a big picture of a fish or a cup. Children at higher grades may be asked to create patterns like these by connecting the dots. My next activity is name the color. Here, the child is presented with color names with different font color. The child is simply expected to name the color of the word. It helps in measuring a child's selective attention capacity and processing speed ability. For example, the first word is yellow but written in green. The child is expected to concentrate hard to get the right answer. Over a period of time, the reaction time reduces. The child starts identifying the fonts quickly. This will help us know that the child's concentration is improving. My next activity is pattern matching, which is one of my personal favorites. This activity or game teaches the basic mental skill of matching or finding something that is the same. In the first worksheet, the child is asked to draw a line to match the same pattern. In the next activity, he or she may be asked to match the same color patterns. In this worksheet, the child may be asked to copy the pattern, and here the child is asked to complete the pattern, and here the child may be asked to match the shadow. All of these activities fall under pattern matching. My next activity is a digit or a letter or a word cancellation. I have put word circle in the bracket so that the child can either choose to cancel or circle the digits or letters. Some of the worksheets will look like this. The child finds 10 letter sequences that look the same at the top and circle them. Or the child may be given a sequence and asked to identify the right sequence from a given set of options. Parents and educators may simply pick an article from education column of the newspaper and ask the child to circle or underline the word that appears most frequently. For example, the words could be the, and, what, where, about, etc. Use a timer and see how many words the child is able to circle or underline in the given time frame. Every day, ask the child to set a goal and ask to achieve more words in the same time frame. Some more worksheets which makes it easier for parents and educators, wherein the child may be asked to circle upper and lower cases, or strike all the E's in a worksheet like this, or strike all the 4's in a worksheet like this. Now all these activities shown in my previous slides can be reinvented by parents and educators using academic related concepts as shown here. In the first activity, ask the child to circle the right word in each line. In the next activity, you may ask the child to arrange the words in an alphabetical order, which helps the child to sequence the concepts. In a math worksheet like this, ask the child to find the secret trail. I have done one for you. Or have paper strips of letters and ask the child to form a word using the picture cue as shown here. Now, apart from attention and concentration, there are some additional benefits of doing these activities. It certainly improves their visual perception, visual tracking of information, and visuospatial skills. It keeps the child's mind active and increases short-term memory, especially the memory game, which I showed you in my previous slides. It builds vocabulary, especially the newspaper activity. Helps to observe better and improves accuracy. This can be related to the digit span and name the color activity. It improves balancing eye-hand coordination and fine motor grip. The mazes activity definitely improves eye-hand coordination in the child. In a classroom, it allows students to tune out unrelated information, background noise, visual distractions, and helps to focus better on important information being given by teachers. Now, doing it consistently at various times improves concentration in your children. But do not forget to acknowledge or praise your child when he or she finishes a task. Thank you so much for watching my session.